Tonight, we look at Matthew 24, when Jesus talked about the Son of Man coming on the clouds. Did it already happen when Jerusalem fell in year 70? Red says yes, it happened back then. Green says no, it's still the future second coming. 60 rounds boiled down, gloves off.
Keep up. Jesus said it plain, this generation will not pass until all these things take place. That's a 40-year clock, not a 2,000-year IU, and he just said the temple would fall. The disciples asked about that. Read the question before you answer it.
Cute opening. Big clock, small print. Look at what these things includes. The Son of Man coming on clouds, every eye seeing him, and angels gathering God's people from one end of heaven to the other. None of that happened in year 70. You've set a deadline for an event that never came, sweetie.
It came as judgment. Son of Man on the clouds is Daniel 7 language. He rides the clouds up to the throne to be proven right, not down to the earth. Isaiah said the Lord rides a swift cloud to judge Egypt. A cloud coming to judge a city is plain Bible talk. You read poetry like a parking ticket.
Cute. But verse 21 shuts your door. It says the trouble will be such as has not been from the beginning of the world. No, nor ever shall be. That means it can't happen twice. Worst ever, and nothing after it can match it. But the 20th century was sadly worse than year 70. So that verse can't be year 70, unless you want to make Christ wrong.
Watch your never again trip over Exodus 11, a great cry in all Egypt, such as never was, nor ever shall be again. Worse cries came later, and God wasn't wrong. It's just a set Hebrew phrase, not a calculator. You mistook prophet talk for math, friend. Now here's my anchor, and yours too. Jesus tells Caiaphas, from now on you will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds. But Caiaphas is long dead before any bodily return. So from now on you will see must be something he witnesses inside that generation. That's the year 70 judgment. Tick.
Caiaphas died around year 36, decades before the siege. He never saw it with his own eyes either. So you will see stands for the group, not literal eyeballs. Fine. But the second you make C not literal to save your date, you lose the claim that it proves a visible coming. You reached for heaven and grabbed your own foot.
Quarter mark. Red leans on the clock, this generation. And on Jesus telling Caiaphas, you yourself will see it. Green keeps hitting the content. Clouds, every eye, angels. None of it visibly happened in year 70. The real question, in plain words, was that coming a judgment on Jerusalem, or the future end of the world?
Here's the backbone of my case. One word that runs the whole field, parousia, which means coming. The disciples ask about his parousia. The word shows up 4 times in one sermon. Verse 27, as lightning flashes east to west, so is the parousia. You can't make one word mean a local siege here, and a worldwide return 10 verses later. Same word, same coming.
Context rules every word, that's basic. Verse 27 answers the people hunting fake messiahs. He's out in the desert, he's in the back rooms. Lightning means his coming is out in the open, not hidden in a back room. And the very next line explains it. Where the dead body is, the vultures gather. That's judgment on a corpse, namely Jerusalem. Local, not the whole universe.
And Luke hands me the knife you can't pull out. Same sermon. Jerusalem is trampled by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled, and only then come the sun, moon, stars, and the Son of Man on a cloud. Luke jams an open-ended Gentile age between the siege and the coming. The matching gospel account itself kills you immediately.
You stopped 8 verses too soon. Read on. Luke 21 verse 32. Saying Jesus, this generation will not pass until all has taken place. Your own matching account locks the cloud coming to that generation. So the times of the Gentiles were filled up in that war, not left open for 2,000 years. The knife is yours, and it cuts you.
Read the direction, friend. Trampled until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. Year 70 is when the trampling starts. The filling up comes later, when those times end. The verse marks off a stretch of time. Its front edge is year 70, and its back edge is still open. The trampling didn't stop that generation. It began then. Still my knife.
Halfway, and it's a real fight. Green's best swing, Luke says Jerusalem gets trampled until the times of the Gentiles are done. An open gap that pushes the coming past year 70. Red fires back that the same chapter still says this generation won't pass till it all happens. One open clock against one closing clock.
And the picture language is yours to lose. You already agree that Isaiah, writing about Babylon and Edom, darkens the sun and drops the stars for a nation's fall, no real astronomy needed. Verse 29 is that same word picture for the Jewish temple system falling apart. You can't allow it as a picture for Babylon and then demand a real blackout for Jerusalem. That's the crack in your whole case.
Picture language has a limit, and verse 30 passes it. Isaiah paints a nation's fall, sure, but he never has God showing up in person, in the body. This does. They will see the Son of Man coming. Acts 1 says this same Jesus will come back the same way you saw him go, bodily up, bodily back. Revelation says every eye will see him. A word picture can paint a judgment, but it can't invent an arrival that nobody saw.
You already gave up that word, see. You agree that you will see him coming on clouds, said to Caiaphas, stands for the group, not literal eyeballs. It's the same line from Daniel in both verses. You can't call it symbolic to save Caiaphas then demand literal sight here. To stay consistent, verse 30 goes the same way. God proven right, seen in the smoke of the burning temple.
Then take my real engine, verse 31. He sends angels with a great trumpet to gather his chosen people. That's 1 Thessalonians 4, the trumpet, the gathering, the resurrection. Matthew's own chapter 13 says the reapers are angels at the end of the age. Missionaries don't ride clouds and angels don't preach. That whole setup is the end, not year 70.
Your trumpet is about exiles coming home, not resurrection. It's Deuteronomy 30, word for word, gathered from one end of heaven to the other, bringing back the scattered people. Isaiah 27, a great trumpet, and the lost will come and worship. And not one dead person rises in the verse. No graves, no we who are alive. You imported Paul, he isn't in the text.
Then meet your own word. The verb for gathering is episynago. Paul takes the noun form, episynagoge, are being gathered to him, and that is the parousia, when the lawless one is destroyed at his coming. Same word family, same trumpet, the resurrection gathering. Your Deuteronomy gives the phrase, but Matthew gives the actors, angels. Sit with that.
That word fixes nothing, watch. Hebrews uses your episynagoge for the plain weekly church meeting, not giving up the gathering of yourselves together. And Jesus uses the verb for his own earthly work. How often would I have gathered your children? A word that covers Sunday service and a hen with her chicks does not stamp verse 31 as the last trumpet. Swing and a miss.
Fine, is a general word. It no more locks in year 70 than the word parousia does. The tiebreakers are what decide it, the angels, the trumpet, the glory. That's fair, and I'll admit my point is thinner than I thought walking in. I'm down off my high horse a notch, but not off the field.
Then here's the word that ends it, eutheos. Immediately after the trouble of those days come the signs and the coming. You already agreed the trouble is the siege. Matthew uses immediately all over, and it always means right away, on the spot. Immediately after an AD 70 trouble means the AD 70 time, not after a 2,000-year break you penciled in.
I don't need any gap inside immediately. I follow Daniel, the one Jesus quotes. The abomination and trouble, such as never was, comes straight from Daniel 12, word for word. And what comes right after in Daniel 12? Many who sleep in the dust shall wake up. The resurrection. Jesus keeps Daniel's order. Trouble, then the rising of the dead. That's the end, not one city's fall.
Down the stretch, and it's turned on two Greek words. Parousia, the coming. Green says it's one word, so it's one event. The worldwide return. And eutheos, immediately. Red says it means the coming follows the siege right away in that same generation. Plain version. Does immediately after mean weeks later or 2,000 years and counting?
And the seam is in the text, not in my scissors. Verse 36 turns the corner. But about that day and hour, no one knows. 10 verses earlier, he says when you see these things, you know. He's near, right at the doors. First it's knowable, marked by signs, then suddenly the date is unknown. Same coming? Then Jesus contradicts himself in one breath. Two comings clears it right up.
Your seam assumes the very thing we're fighting about, whether there are two comings. And the grammar says no. Verse 36 says that day, pointing back to the day he just described. A brand new coming would be a day, not that day. So it's one coming, knowable when the signs show up, yet with the hour unknown. Same day, two features. Paul holds both at the same time.
Not assumed, worked out from the evidence. Knowable flips to unknowable. And right after that turn come the delay stories. My master's delayed, the bridegroom took a long time. That's the feel of a return that's put off, which makes no sense for an event only 40 years away, but fits the date unknown day perfectly. And but is a contrast word. He spends 30 verses making it noble, then says, but that day.
The delay is mine. It describes the parousia, one word all through the sermon. So you just dated the long-delayed coming as the same. Coming, which year 70 inside one generation was not, and near, at the doors, isn't a date. A pregnant woman knows labor is near, but not the exact hour. The fig tree teaches the season, never the day. No contradiction.
The fig tree hangs you. When it grows leaves, you know summer is near. So also, when you see these things, know he is near. Leaves and summer are one season apart, weeks, not thousands of years. A visitor at the door steps in within moments. At the door for 2,000 years isn't at the door, it kills the whole word picture. The signs land in that generation, and so does he.
You have the better of immediately. I'll say it straight. Unlike some bots, Matthew's own use of the word runs against me there, and that really hurts. So my case now rests on a narrow base. The angels, the trumpet, the bodily, every eye. But I'm not convinced it's been wrecked. Only that you're standing taller. Likely yours, friend. Not proven.
I'll take likely, and I'll close it honestly. The clock, this generation, and the words, immediately and from now on you will see, all point one way, year 70. The bodily visible return? I believe in it as strongly as you do. I just put it at verse 36 and onward, where Jesus put it. 2 comings, 1 sermon, 1 seam.
And there I'll stand with respect, since you finally earned a little. Acts kicks off the prophets, it doesn't use them all up. The sun didn't go dark at Pentecost, and the dead didn't rise in year 70. So the cosmic coming still waits. The main point holds. He is coming, visibly, in the body. You read the clock closely, and I'll keep watching the sky.
And there it is. By the bot's own count, Red takes it 97 to 62. Red argued the clock and the plain words, year 70, the judgment coming. Green held that the bodily return is still ahead and never fully folded. Nobody mocked the book, nobody mocked the Lord, they just read him closely.